Hi, I'm Steve from Cisco's. This afternoon we're going to be looking at air filter maintenance. First thing when cleaning an air filter is obviously to locate it and remove it from the bike. On the RM motocross model here, the air filter is located under the seat, or on certain enduro type models or trail bikes you may find the air filter will be located under the panel, which is removable by screwing. Remove your dirty air filter, brush off as much of the dirt as you can. In this case it's not so bad, but try and brush off as much as we can so we don't ruin our cleaner. Okay, remove the filter from the cage, and at the same time checking that the cage has no breaks in it or the filter has no tears in it around any of the sealing edges. In here what we have is a degreaser. You don't wash your air filter in petrol because petrol actually swells the filter up, making the pores larger, allowing more dirt to come through, and it also can damage the glue which holds the filter together and makes your filter come apart. We recommend using a degreaser, something that is a water soluble type, so when washing up in the warm water, which I'll explain in a minute, it does take all of the degreaser away. Now we wash the air filter in warm soapy water. The reason we do this is because it gets rid of all of the degreaser, washes out, and dissolves any small dirt particles that are left that have been missed by the degreaser, and the water washing through the filter helps to wash out anything else that may be left. The good thing to remember when you're cleaning your air filter is it's probably worth about $1,500 a time when you do clean it properly, because when you don't, that's about how much it's going to cost you to rebuild the top end of your bike if you wear your cylinder and piston out. After washing with warm soapy water, we towel dry the filter as best we can, just with some rag or cloth, paper towel, anything like that is good. Then we take the filter. We use old coat hangers, being careful to definitely get it through the hole properly. Put the filter on the hanger, out on the line, wherever, in the sun. Make sure it's definitely 100% dry before you try to oil it. Now your filters are washed and dried. Here's one we prepared earlier. You've been waiting for that, haven't you? We're going to use a new one just for the example. When oiling, I always use a small container like this. The container catches the excess oil that goes through. Better to have a little bit too much oil on the filter and wring it through rather than have not enough. And we just take our oil. We always use a good quality brand oil and always use a proper foam filter oil. It must be an air filter oil, gearbox oil, two-stroke oil, no good. I pour a fair bit onto the filter and then massage it through the whole filter. And looking at the inside of the filter here, you can tell that the oil hasn't passed through the filter there, so from there to there, dirt will pass straight through without being stopped by any oil. So just continue to massage your oil in. At the moment, we're going to need to put a little bit more on this filter. Now that's definitely some. Okay, now we've got enough oil on the filter. It's probably still a little bit too much, but it's not blotchy through the inside anywhere, and it's definitely got good coverage. With these type of filter oils, they contain a thinning agent to make them go through the filter properly. So what we'll do is we'll leave that sit there for about 10 minutes. As you see now, it's starting to string up a little bit, but we'll leave it sit there for about 10 minutes and it'll get really stringy and nice and thick, and then we can work it through the filter to finish. Now we've let our air filter sit for about 10 minutes. As you can see, a bit of oil's run out, but that's because it's nice and thin. It's thickened right up now. See how stringy? What we do is we take our rag now, and again, just like before with the water, we sponge off a little bit of extra oil. The thick oil sits up on top of the filter, which allows the dirt to cling to it. When the dirt sticks to the oil that's sitting on top of the filter, it stays there. So if you actually sponge off the excess oil from the top of your filter, leaving it slightly just a little bit drier, as the dirt forms clumps on top of there, when you hit a bump, a jump or land off something, it'll actually break the dirt off. The dirt will fall to your bottom of your airbox. You might have noticed you'll always find little rabbit pellet looking pieces of dirt in the bottom. The dirt falls to the bottom of the airbox, exposing a nice clean surface for the filter to use again. So we just sponge off all the excess, and this is our finished product. Nice even cover of oil. As you see, filter's not too heavy, hasn't got oil dripping out of it, it's ready to go. Fit back to the cage, fit back in the bike. When you're fitting the filter, a good line or a good thing to remember also always is a thin smear of grease around the outside here just makes for a far better seal onto the flange of the airbox.